say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round of the GT3 Championship here at Motive on ACC for Season 6 for the GT3s. And let's turn that off. But we're here for what's going to be a championship decided here at Misano. We got rainy conditions for this one. I think we're expecting the rain to last for the duration of the 1 hour race coming up after this qualifying session. So this mildly moist weather certainly set to stay for a little while, and it's going to make the action even more exciting, and hopefully we'll see a few thrills and spills and a bit of a shake up in the order. But 20 cars on the grid for tonight. We've got a full maxed out grid for this one, which is absolutely brilliant to see. We're absolutely privileged to have all of these drivers out on the track at the moment in front of us here. Great to see a full grid once again here at Motive for the GT3s. We even had a couple that we had to turn away tonight, which is a shame obviously for those guys, but for us it shows that we're still very much a league in demand here on the PlayStation platform. Big news also coming up very soon is that the PS4 and the PS5 sides will be going separate on ACC, so it's going to be a bit more of a challenge to fill up the grids, as the PS4 players will no longer be able to do cross-play with the PS5. So we're going to have separate leagues for the PS4 and the PS5. We'll be running those back-to-back on both Wednesdays and Sundays, and hopefully Saturdays, if we can get enough people signing up for the British GT Sprint Cup on a Saturday for both PS4 and PS5, then hopefully we can have a double header for both consoles on Saturday as well. But That's the aim. Let's see how it goes, guys. If you're watching right now, please drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. If you're one of the drivers, then be sure to stay tuned for the sign up. You can actually go to the website now, in fact, and do that right now if you want. It's available. You can go straight on there. You can actually put your name down for next season. You simply go to the home page, click on ACC, click sign up now, and then you select the PS4 or PS5 option depending on what console you're on, and you should be able to fill in the form right there. And then little disclaimer there, first announcement that's been made on this topic is right now, so if anybody wants to do that, you can do so. It's actually been like that since yesterday night. I changed it. I put the form out and linked it on the website, but I don't think many people will know about it yet, seeing as no one's really been told about it, so you're not going to know about a hidden gem unless it's been brought to your attention. But right now anyway, we've got Lonnie setting the pace here in the early stage of this qualifying session. Is the track going to be getting worse as this session goes on? If it is, then he's in a good position, although it looks like actually no, Saki and Andre's just gone quicker there, so maybe it isn't, or maybe the track is going quicker as this session goes on. Appears they're shedding the water slightly quicker than what it's coming down at this point. In fact, I just realised you guys can't see the timing screens because you've got the championship standings in the way, so let's get rid of those and then you can see what we're talking about here. So Saki and Andre leads the way at the moment in the number 14 Ferrari on a 1 minute 41.3. You got Lonnie in second, 4 tenths adrift, and you got Rocco in third. And also big news here, the championship leader Nils Barson not here this week, not able to turn up for this race, which means that the championship very much between Rocco and Luck You look at the standings there on the left hand side of your screen. Rocco and Luck tied on points on 227 points, so it's extremely tight between these two. And you know, I wouldn't want to be a betting man in this situation. Looks like Rocco's currently getting the better of these wet conditions at the moment. He's in third place. He's 1.2 off of the fastest time being set by Lonnie at this point, so Rocco doing a reasonably decent job. Luck is currently sat in 6th at the moment in this session. He's 4 tenths adrift of Rocco on that leaderboard, so he's doing also a decent job here. But it's going to be close between these two, and the championship is very much between these two right now. With the absence of Nils Barsa, as we said before, it is a winner takes all scenario. It's very much a Hamilton Verstappen type night here between Rocco and Luck Who's going to prevail here? Who's going to take the title in the final race of the season for the PS4 GT3 Championship on ACC here at Motive for season 6? Well, we're going to find out over the next hour and a bit, that is for sure. But Lonnie currently setting the pace by 3 tenths of a second ahead of Saki and Andre, so these two currently looking very strong here so far. They really have raised the bar at the moment. But Rocco not too far behind Spuzz, Slow Wolf, Luck You got Mez Koala in 7th. We see Luck coming up towards the line. Can he improve? Can he get a little bit closer to his championship rival here? Up towards the line comes Luck Can't for the time being, stays in P6 for now. Mez Koala out there, also SD12 Dash, good to see SD12 veteran here at Motive. DDTKU likewise, as well as Scuderia Paul, regular commenter on the YouTube streams. Is Scuderia Paul, always says hello, always gives a shout, and massive shout out to him as well in the number 24 AMG. Awesome Gumball sat in 11th place here in this session, followed by Nilsson in 12th. And you got a funny looking guy currently sat in P13 at the moment in this session. Reco Vantage in 14th, new driver to the league, joined us for the first time last night at Brands Hatch in what was a 10-car race around Brands for the Sprint Cup. Hopefully we can get that sorted out over the next I think it's 3 weeks we got until the start of the new season, so I think it's crossed we'll be able to get those Sprint Cups sorted, not just on the PS4 but also on the PS5 as well. If we have to just do it on one console, we will. If we have to say, look, it's probably not much point running it, which is obviously not the priority at all, then that may happen. But fingers crossed we can get the numbers up. You know, guys, if you fancy it, then sign yourselves up. That's the only way that we're going to know if we've got the demand there. For Sprint Cup, it's been really exciting over the course of this season, to be fair. It has been really good action. I mean, 30-minute races, no pit stop, it's just straight out sprint to the line. Unlike this one, which is a 1-hour race with a pit stop, a bit of strategy involved, the Sprint Cup is just a very chaotic but clean, but you know, solid affair of driving from everybody. And yeah, Reco made his debut last night at Brands Hatch in that one. But nonetheless, here we are then, 6 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. Right now you got Lonnie from Saki and from Slow Wolf, who has now got himself into 3rd place ahead of Rocco. Here's the provisional pulse. There's a Lonnie coming up towards the line. Can he improve on his current PB? Doesn't look like it at the moment, but obviously stays P1 for now then. We've got currently slow. We'll come into the final few corners. Awesome Gumball's done a tap good enough for P5, so that's a good lap there from Awesome Gumball in the number 15 Ferrari. The red, yellow and black. Very, very nice colours indeed there from Awesome Gumball. You got Spuzz there in 6th in the number 108 Ferrari. Luck Morato, Video Gamer. Lots of Ferraris out there tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ferraris out on the track. So it's definitely a bit of a Ferrari fest. If those of you who were watching remember there was a Ferrari Fest special event at Imola last summer, so quite a while ago now, to be fair. And yeah, there was it was the Ferrari only event that we had at Imola, obviously. And yeah, bit of a Ferrari Fest here tonight. 7 of the 20 cars are currently sporting the Prancing Horse logo on the front of that dash. But in the meantime, it's Lonnie from Sakin from Rompu, the top 3 here. Rocco's been pushed down to 5th place, Luck Morato in 9th, so the 2 championship contenders in 5th and 9th places so far. What can Rocco do here? He's coming out of the last corner. Can he improve? Move us up the order a little bit here, maybe into the top 4 possibly. Rocco comes over, doesn't improve for the time being. What's Luck Morato up to? He's coming to the final few corners actually here, so let's ride with him. But yeah, lots on the line tonight here in terms of the championship, so I'm sure that the 2 contenders are going to be going absolutely hammer and tongs here, going all out for this title. JR says, let's go, my team run DJC Racing boys. Watch Rompu, definitely Rompu's going to be strong. Ratchet as well, racing out there tonight. I think he is. Is he raced? Did he get in? I think he might not have got in, because it was a very oversubscribed night here. I don't think he managed to get into the session, which is a shame there actually. So Ratchet hasn't managed to get into the session. JR says, music feels like I've double dropped back at school disco. Blimey, you started early, son, I'm telling you. I didn't get onto any of that stuff until I was at least 17, 18. My god, if you were doing pills at the school disco, then you were a proper sesh gremlin, I'm telling you. But we got Game for Life there says I can't drive. I think that's because you got disqualified from the practice, but it looks like you're able to. Looks like it's out on track now anyway, so that's now sorted. Lightblade says evening chat this evening. Lightblade, good to see you. Good to always have you in the comments section. Regular in the comments section is with Lightblade. Always gives us a bit of support. Hasn't been able to race recently actually, down to the fact that his pedals have been broken, but hopefully he'll be able to get those sorted out and he'll be back on track for the new season, when the PS4 and PS5 will be running separate leagues for this upcoming season, so that's going to be extremely exciting indeed. Obviously we'll have 2 sets of racing, but the most important thing is that obviously as the PS4 users start to slowly migrate over to the PS5, we should be able to eventually have multiple tiers on the PS5, so it'll be a much more packed out group of drivers in terms of each category. It'll be, certainly we won't be missing out on any drivers. We'll have probably a full-on show. I don't know, it'd be great. I'd love it if we could have like what we almost had about a year or so ago, when we had 3 full tiers of racing, just packed out grids and just excellent racing across the board in the GT3s. Also, it'd be great to have it in the GT4s as well. I'll tell you what, it would be so cool if we could have a capacity maxed out 3-4 tiers of just flat out racing. We might have to run a couple of them at the same time, but hey, that would be awesome. But yeah, anyway, 2 minutes have to go in this session. We've got Freeman in the comments as well. Sean Freeman there says evening all, one of our admins here and coordinator at the GT4 League as well. As we got JR says, we're actually not on. No, unfortunately not, mate. Unfortunately not. We had 25 people, or 26 people I think it was, emote that they wanted to race tonight, and a couple had to miss out. We had to sort of prioritise the regulars first, and then anybody else that was jumping in. We sort of 10 minutes before the start, I just said, opened it up, look, we might as well just open the floodgates, and a couple of them were Johnny on the spot, jumping in straight away, but unfortunately Ratchet did not get in time. JR says, come on DDM Rompu and smash that like button, says Lightblade. Absolutely, please do. Show your appreciation for the drivers out on track, and if you enjoy what you see here on the Motive Racing channel, then be sure to subscribe and as well. If you want to get involved in the on-track action, go to www.motiveracing.com, as well as Rocco's got himself within a tenth of Lonnie. Lonnie's coming out of the final corner up towards the line in the number 27 Aston Martin. Can Lonnie improve his time here at the top of the leaderboard? Here he comes over the line. Lonnie does improve fractionally there by about a tenth of a second, so it goes into the 1 minute 40s. Very, very, very good lap there from Lonnie. Absolutely flying here tonight, and looking like a force to be reckoned with so far. Sakin out there at the moment, third place in this session, 4 tenths off for the pace. You got Rompu 6 tenths off. JR's been tooting, I don't know if it's tooting or touting. I'm sure you all know the word I'm talking about, but I'm never sure whether it's tooting or touting. But nonetheless, Rompu out of the last corner is about to finish his lap. Can he improve here? Can he get himself into the top 2? Can he get himself on the front row ahead of Sakin Andre maybe? Over the line comes for Rompu, and he does get himself ahead of Sakin Andre there, up into third place. Only 2 tenths off for the pole time, and only 600 shy of Rocco's second fastest time here in this session. You've got Spuzz out there at the moment coming through the middle sector. Slow Wolf, Luck Morato, Video Gamer all out there. Slow Wolf comes over the line, doesn't improve. Luck Morato, the championship contender alongside Rocco, down in 8th place now. Got pushed down the order there as we see Mez Koala going up into 6th place. So Luck Morato's got it all to do here. Currently championship rival tied on points, Rocco in 2nd place. So Luck really has to put it out of the bag here if he wants to give himself a fighting chance here in this final race of the season. Although having said that, it is a long race. It's going to be a 1 hour endurance race with a mandatory pit stop as well, and it's going to be wet, so anything can happen, and it's quite literally up in the air as to what might occur here. But it's these two, Luck Morato and Rocco, tied on points coming into this championship finale. It's going to be one of these two for the title, that is for certainly sure. But we're seeing Luck Morato here coming through the final corner and out onto the start finish straight. What can he do? Can he get himself a little bit closer to Rocco here? Luck Morato comes over the line, doesn't improve, stays in P8. Not too bad, could be a lot worse. Rocco in the pits. Rompu is coming through the final part of the lap at the moment. J Palotto also out there. Let's see what J Palotto can do. Surprising to see J Palotto down in 19th place, not been the night so far. Over the line he comes. Can he improve? Only marginally, only up into 18th place, so pushes Stones down 1 position there. Rompu up towards the line. Can Rompu put it on pole? Rompu doesn't put it on pole, but he does go 3,000ths of a second quicker than Rocco there, so brings Rocco a little bit closer to Luck Morato, the 2 championship contenders in 3rd and 8th places respectively. So it's Lonnie from Rompu, from Rocco, from Sakin Andre, Spuzz, Mez Koala, Slow Wolf, Luck Morato, Video Gamer, and DDTKU, the top 10. Then we're going to have Awesome Gumball, SD12 Dash, Mully Mully, Scooter Red Paul, Nilsson, a funny looking guy, Recco Vantage, J Palotto, Stones Racing, and Game for Life rounding out the field in 20th place here for this one. So there you have it, guys, getting ready to go for the final race of the season. Please drop a like on the video, guys, smash that like button if you can, subscribe to the channel if you're watching this for the first time here at Motive. It's a pleasure to have you along for the ride for what's the final race of season 6 for the GT3s, and we're going to have a new season coming up on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, 2 separate divisions, as the ACC game is now no longer supporting crossplay between the 2 consoles. This is a big opportunity for us really to actually expand a bit, because obviously we need to fill up both leagues, and as the PS4 users start to slowly move over to PS5, we'll probably see more and more tiers developing for PS5 over the next sort of couple of years. It's a long-term plan, but you know, that's the idea. And obviously probably what we'll do is we'll run a similar setup to what AOR do, where we'll probably just do a pre-season time trial, and then so that the people who are moving over from PS4 don't just end up in the bottom league and have to start from the bottom. It wouldn't make a whole load of sense, so we'll figure out a way. And ultimately the Motive Racing ACC leagues still relatively in their infancy. We've been going for about a year and a bit now, I'd say. Started off the ACC GT3 leagues in, I think it was September, October 2020, so less than a year and a half, or 16 months in the making so far. And well, they've been bigger than they are at the moment, but we're certainly coming back up to where we were maybe about 7-8 months ago, that is for sure. But here we are then, guys, getting ready to go for the final race of season 6 here at Misano. It's a slightly wet track, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be cagey, and the championship contenders Rocco and Luckmarato in 3rd and 8th places. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to take the title here, who's your favourite for tonight. We've got a lot of comments coming in here tonight, but Lightblade here saying close looking top 10, absolutely Lightblade, couldn't agree more with you there. JR says last up effort Rompu, great stuff, 2nd place there for Rompu, putting it on the front row alongside Lonnie, both of these two ahead of the championship contenders Rocco and Luckmarato. Let's go Didi, says JR Sim Racing. DDTKU will be starting this one in P10, so he's bang in the middle of the pack and can certainly make something happen from there. Nice of all the other cars to show up for a Run DJC Racing win. That's a good one, JR. Gotta say, I do love JR's banter in the comments, always top notch. And JR, big supporter of Motive as well, former commentator here. Little known fact, well no, it is actually quite a well-known fact to those who raced on the GT3s and project cars too. JR's commentated on the GT3s Motive. He also commentated at Rubbings Racing as well back in the day. Very skilled commentator actually, but nowadays he's got well, over the last couple of years really, his little one has been getting gradually older, and he now can't really spend the evenings shouting at the telly, as he would say, because it's just a little bit of a disturbance within the household that probably wouldn't be ideal. But nonetheless, very skilled commentator, great guy on the Discord. And we got Ratchet there in the comments also saying, come on Run DJC Racing, good luck guys, let's see if Run DJC can go out of this season on a high. Rompu in a great position, and Rompu's been improving more and more over the course of this season. Rompu has previously been a really strong driver in any league that he's raced in here at Motive, and the last couple of seasons he's kind of gone off the boil a bit, but towards the back end of this season he's really stepped it back up a bit, and we've seen him up the sharp end in a few of these races over the course of the back end of this season. So who knows, we may be seeing Rompu back to his full best. We've seen him on Project Cars 2 in the GTEs. He was, I think, runner-up in the championship in the GTEs about probably a year or so ago now, probably about four or five seasons in Motive years. But yeah, Rompu definitely a driver who we're looking forward to seeing what he can do here tonight from the front row even of the grid, as we got 15 seconds left in this one until the start of the formation lap. We missed you out there, says JR to Ratchet. And Lightblade says, first voice of hour I heard was JR, class act in the box. Absolutely, he really is one of the best. 17 watching, some love to the lads out on track with a like please. Thank you guys. If you can indeed drop a like on the video, it's totally free, says JR. Absolutely it is indeed, we do not charge. You can support us on Patreon. I don't insist, and I would feel awkward about even asking people to do it. Try not to really mention it too much, but it does help with our servers, and obviously we're going to need some help soon with the servers, because we're going to have 3 extra servers for the PS5 leagues as well. So we do have a Patreon if anybody wants to contribute. Kind of dreading that one. That's an extra 40 quid. I'm already paying 40 quid a month. So anyway, enough of that. But here for the formation lap, ladies and gentlemen, 20 people watching at the moment. What an honour it is to have 20 people currently watching here live on the stream. If you do like what you see, then obviously drop a like and subscribe. I nearly cried my eyes out on my last mic for you lads. Thank you everyone. Yeah, I remember that as well, mate. That was Bathurst GT3's Project Cars 2. Remember that very well. That was the Thorsten and Ayrton Stefano championship decider, and a certain Andy CWFC retired with 3 laps left to go, whilst he was a lap down as well. I don't know really who he is, to be honest. It's a bit irrelevant. But anyway, here we are then, guys, on the formation lap, and we're getting ready to go for this one, the final one of the season. Thursday Night Lights, says JR. No, that was Rubbings Racing. JR did a few comms on Motive. He was also commentating at Motive for us, basically in the in-between bit, between when RR was still a thing but Motive was still a baby. JR commentated on the GT3s on Project Cars. He did one season, he was the coordinator and the commentator for the GT3s. That was, I think, when you were still at Rubbings Racing. I think that Rubbings Racing was just about surviving by the skin of its teeth, and Motive was kind of like on the up. We got JR says, come on Rompu, getting his radar on the mirrors Thursday Night Lights. Who can forget Thursday Night Lights? For everybody who joined the Thursday Night Lights, that was such a sick series, wasn't it? I mean, once a week, random car, random track, it got announced each and every week, and drivers would just rock up. You'd have to sign up, you'd have to fill in a Google Form sign up sheet a couple of days beforehand, and then you'd just rock up, you get an invite, and then it would be streamed to that Rubbings Racing channel. Rubbings Racing was such a cool league. I mean, you know, for everything that went on there, it was a really cool community. And but hey, Motive is my pride and joy, and this is what we've been working on for now the last 2 years. Obviously, Rubbings Racing very much a thing of the past now, but could swear I heard JR commentating on Thursday Night Lights. Yeah, he did a few times. Oh no, he did. But I mean, the last time, JR's last commentary was Bathurst Project Cars 2 GT3s. That was his last comms for Motive. JR, unfortunately there was no free place, says Ratchet. That's a shame there. I asked Ratchet, and Andy said there was a lot of drivers. Shame, as I know you were doing 41s. That would have been solid, mate. That would have been up there for sure. Lonnie's pole time was a 40.9, so you'd definitely been in the thick of it. But here we are then, Miss Green. We are racing here at Misano in the wet conditions as Lonnie comes up towards turn 1. But it looks like Rompu's jumped him here. So Rompu up into the lead of the race. The Run DJC boys are going to be out of their seats here, but they're side by side. Oh, and there's a lot of cars sliding around. Spuz has lost it there coming through turn 1. Has anybody else got it out of shape? I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait for the timing boards here. It's not, the camera angle is not really panning out in the way we want them to. But Rompu has got the lead of the race, and the Run DJC boys are going to be absolutely jumping up and down at this point. They are going to be screaming through the roof at the moment, as it's Rompu now leading ahead of Lonnie. You got Rocco there just behind these guys in third place ahead of Saki and Andrea. There's Mez Koala followed by Luck Murato. Luck Murato's made up 2 places here in the first few corners, so a good start here from one of the championship contenders. His other championship rival Rocco's in third place at the moment, but Spuz there dropping down to the back, and Didi also down to the back, as well as Scuderia Paul. So those 3 involved in a bit of a skirmish, but Rompu, Lonnie, Rocco the top 3 at the moment. You got Saki and Andre trying to pressure Rocco if he can. Mez Koala there in 5th place ahead of Luck Murato. Slow Wolf, Money SD12 Dash, Video Gamer complete in the top 10, and you've got a funny looking guy just behind them. J Pilotto on the back of him. Game for Life up into 13th place. Nilsson there running just ahead of Stones. You've got Awesome Gumball on the back of Stones looking around the outside here. A flash of the lights there from Awesome Gumball. Not sure why. You've got Recco Vantage just behind them. The Didi, Scuderia Paul and Spuz at the back of the field right now. But Rompu has opened up a 1.4 second lead here and looking to try and seize the initiative very early on. Rompu, we saw him in a qualifying session putting it on the front row of the grid alongside Lonnie, and currently he's doing the business so far. Lonnie coming under pressure from Rocco, sacking there with Mez Koala and Luck Murato looking to try and get all over the back of Mez Koala here in his early laps. You can see his championship rival Rocco not too far ahead there. Only 3 places currently separating these 2. So this is a big battle here between these 2. Oh no, somebody's lost it there. Somebody's lost it to the penultimate corner. Is it somebody in the pits? I think it is somebody in the pits, and that is Saki and Andre in the pits at the end of the first lap. So he's coming into, I don't know why, to be honest, maybe a drive-through penalty, maybe it's something we didn't see there, but nonetheless Saki and Andre in the pits, and we've got Mez Koala now looking to try and get ahead of Rocco here. Rocco is trying to hold on grimly here for this final podium spot, but Mez Koala looking to try and maximise that grip around the outside on a wet track here. He's going to get it around the outside. Rocco losing the space, and looks as though Mez Koala's just about keeping it there. Rocco though will have the inside line, hugs that curve on the inside and does keep onto that position for now, but Mez is really pushing him, and this is going to allow Luck Murato into the position as well, and Luck Murato has got a run here. Luck Murato looking to try and make a move here on his championship rival down the inside. Can he make this stick on the brakes here? Luck Murato is up into 3rd place here. Rocco losing out, and Luck Murato into a championship taking position here on lap 2 of the final race of the GT3 season here at Motive. So this is massive news here between these 2 as they're going toe to toe, and now Rocco's having to keep SD12 Dash behind him. SD12 Dash on a real charge at the moment, looking to make places here, but you're going to have to tuck in for the time being there. But this is incredible racing here from Luck Murato up into 3rd place, mugging all of them off there, and up into the final podium spot as we see them all filing through the end of this back straight. You've got J Pilotto in the background, it's got Video Gamer all over the back of him there. Game for Life on Awesome Gumball side by side here down this back straight. No, in fact it's not, sorry, not yes it is, no it's not, yes it is, no it's not, I don't know, it is, yeah, Nilsson there. in the thick of it, as well as Game for Life, Stones, DDTKU, Scooter Red Paul on the back of this pack with Spuzz, Recco and Sakin Andre having come into the pits at the end of the first lap. It's way down the order, but Rompu has got a 2-second lead here out the front at the end of lap 2. There's Lonnie, there's Luck Morato in the background of this, coming through the final corner, currently running in a championship taking position, but the 2 championship contenders running bumper to bumper at the moment, back to back here in 3rd and 4th places. This is unbelievable stuff. You could not write this. Rocco started this race in 3rd place, Luck Morato 8th, but Luck Morato's made up 5 places and has got ahead of his championship rival. It's been an electric start here from Luck Morato at the start of this race. Rocco, though, still on the back of him and still not giving this one up just yet. Money, there's SD12 Dash, a funny looking guy there in 7th ahead of Slow Wolf. You got Mez Koala followed by Video Gamer completing that top 10. You got Nilsson, Stone, Scooter Red Paul, Spuzz there on the back of these with Didi, Recco. There's Awesome Gumball and Game for Life coming through the first couple of corners there. They're way off the back of the pack at the moment. Jay Polotto and Sakin Andre at the back in 20th place here in this race, but Lonnie started to close in a little bit on Rompu over this first sector or so. He's gained about a 10th there coming through this part of the track. You got Luck there running in 3rd place, still keeping Rocco at bay, but Rocco really trying to put the pressure on here on his championship rival. These two have gapped Money by about a second, but Money looks like it closed in a little bit over the course of the first sector here. A funny looking guy there's Mez Koala, Slow Wolf, Video Gamer has dropped off of this pack a little bit, but Luck and Rocco still battling it out here in this race. Lightblade says, Andy be like, to me to you, hiccups. Yeah, absolutely, that was a fake hiccup, by the way, that wasn't a real one, but most of them, in fact 90% of them are real here on the channel, but that one was a fake one. But nonetheless, Rompu's got a 2-second gap here over Lonnie at this point. You got Luck Morato there ahead of Rocco, ahead of Money, SD12. Oh, somebody's wide, somebody's really wide. Mez Koala there gets out of shape, and that's going to allow Slow Wolf down the inside up into 8th place. I had a very strong coffee before this one, guys. I knew I'd need it because I'm absolutely shattered. I've been getting no sleep whatsoever over the last few days, so I knew that I definitely knew that that I would be needing it. But Auto Butcher says hiccups are usually after the pits open. Yeah, it's around that point when the hiccups kind of start to come about. I think it's when there's a little break up in the racing. We see JR saying Rompu maintaining that 2-second gap. Come on, Didi, climbing back up. Didi currently up into, where is he 15th place at the moment. Raki, good evening all, says Raki. Lightblade and JR saying hello to Raki there as well. Rompu leads by 2 seconds ahead of Lolly. You got Luck Morato there running in the final podium spot ahead of Rocco there. Rocco, a big slide there on the curb. Oh, he may have seen his championship slipping through his fingers there as he just about wrestled it back onto the track there. That was close stuff there from Rocco. He's still on the back of his championship rival Luck at the moment. You got Money there running in 5th place ahead of SD12 Dash, a funny looking guy there with Mez Koala now down in 9th place behind no, in fact he's got ahead of Slow Wolf, so Mez Koala's got that 8th place back here in this race. As we see Mez there ever so wide coming through that part of the track, but looking like he's safe and sound at the moment then. Video Gamer there in P10 at this point. It's got a bit of a gap back to Nilsson, who in turn's got a couple of seconds back to Stones. We've lost a driver from the race. Somebody is retired from the race. Who is it? I'm just looking at the timing board. I think it's Game for Life. It is Game for Life. Game for Life has thrown in the towel here. Scooter Red Paul's got a train of cars behind him here. Look at this. Scooter Red Paul has he been they've got Stones in the foreground, so it's Stones just ahead of Scooter Red Paul, Spuzz, Didi with Recco, but I think that Didi might have done Spuzz actually. Has he got ahead of him there? I think he may have passed him. Yeah, it looks like Didi has passed Spuzz, so the timing board has updated there. So yeah, Didi up into 14th place. In the meantime, the battle between the two championship contenders, Luck and Rocco, currently continuing on here. Rompu's got a lead of 2.4 seconds, so he's pulled out a little bit over that last lap there. We got Raki says hello to JR and Lightblade. Also JR, big shout out, says drop a like on the video. Please do, guys, drop a like if you're enjoying what you're seeing right now. JR says, how's your Sunday, dude? Still got a roof. Also Lightblade, great to see a full grid once again. How's it looking for a tier 2? At the moment, the thing is, because of the PS4 and PS5 split, it's very possible that we'll only have one tier. But looking at the numbers, I mean, we're not going to need too much of an advertising campaign to get full grids for both the PS4 and the PS5. I think it's very much on the cards. As we see Rocco here, championship taking move there up into 3rd place, although it looks like Lucky's going to try and get the cut back here on him. Got a slightly better exit out of that previous corner, and Luck looking back around the outside here. Rocco giving the space on the outside. These two are side by side. Oh, and the two championship contenders have come together. Oh no, Rocco's round, and he looked like they were just not giving each other any quarter there. Rocco's dropped a few seconds there. Luck Morato continues on his merry way. Oh no, I tell you what, that's going to be controversial. And Rocco's just got to get his head down and get on with it here, because that's luck continuing on his way. I'd hate to see a championship decided in the stewards room, but we could very well be seeing a situation. Raki and Freeman, if you guys are watching right now, if you guys can review that one for me, I don't know if we can review it from the trackside cameras, but take a look, guys, if you're watching that one. This is massive news here, but to be honest, it looked like they just kind of like came across on each other. They both looked like they were in the middle of the track. I didn't really get to see fully what happened. There was contact between the two of them, and obviously Rocco's come off much worse, and Luck Morato continuing on his way. But these two, the championship contenders here in this season, in this final race of the season. And that could be huge implications there for Rocco. Luck continuing on his way in third place, has got half a second now to the back of Mully Mully. Gap's come down to 2.1 at the front between Rompu and Nolly at this point. You've got Mez Koala about half a second off the back of Mully Mully and SD12 Dash here in 6th place. Slow Wolf, there's Rocco. He's about a second behind Slow Wolf at the moment, so Rocco's still in a good position here in this race. It's not all doom and gloom for Rocco at this point. JR says, Lightweight says, JR, if your race pace round here is 32s, then you're beyond an alien. I'm tripping over my words non-stop here tonight. Love Misano proves you don't need an elevation to have a killer of a circuit, says Raki. No, not at all, mate. Don't need any elevation, you just need good corners, you need a few straights, you need overtaking opportunities, a wide track. Misano has everything you need here, really. Drama says, Raki, indeed, couldn't have summed it up better myself. Oh no! Mully Mully's lost it! Mully Mully gets it a little bit out of shape there. I don't think there was any contact with Luck. I think he just lost it by himself. Mully Mully's going to lose out here to Rocco there. So Rocco up another position, and Mully Mully losing a few positions in that exchange there. So Mez, SD12, Slow Wolf, Rocco all making their way through, and Mully Mully there on the back of Rocco right now, but down in 8th place here in this race. JR32, wow, that is beyond alien. Yeah, they kind of just, yeah, definitely, indeed. But Rompu's got 1.7 seconds here to Lonnie. Lonnie's really closed that gap down over the last lap or so. So Lonnie's taking his fight to Rompu at this point. He's looking very much in the position where he can possibly take this win. Rompu's led this one since the get-go, but Lonnie now starting to really get into a groove. You can see that Aston Martin starting to really pick up some pace here in that number 27. Doing a good job at the moment is Lonnie, and these two have got a big gap back to Luck Morato running in the final podium spot. He's a long way behind. He's got Koala now pressure in the back of him. Has Luck got damage after that collision with Rocco? Has Rocco got damage? Didn't look like they got damage. They both sort of had a bit of a to-do, and Rocco ended up spinning round. But we don't quite know what the score is with the damage. Stones has been disqualified, so Stones is out of the race here. He's been disqualified on lap 7 of the race. Don't know what happened there to him. But the gap's coming down here between Rompu and Lonnie, and Luck's still got Mez all over the back of him here as well. SD12 has got Slow Wolf creeping into contention. Rocco running in 7th place here. He's 1.8 off the back of these guys, but the gap between the two championship contenders at this point is around 4 or 5 seconds, and we're just going to have to double check to make sure what our controller is charging here, because that's always a little bit awkward. We just lost Scuderia Paul. Scuderia Paul is out of the race. Raki just said there in the comments, where's Scuderia Paul? Oh no, Rocco's lost it! Rocco, big slide there, and he gets it going once again, but he's going to lose a bit of time there. Mully sneaks her up in 7th place. Oh, and Rocco's just sliding there on the exit of the corner. He was on the tarmac there, he was on the exit on the outside of the track, and he's lost out there to Video Gamer as well. Video Gamer's going to move up into 8th place, and Rocco down to 9th. As we can see there, Mully struggling. Oh, Mully there losing it, and he's going to have to come into the pits, I think. Mully slides into the pits there, coming through the penultimate corner, and he's coming in now. So what a disaster there for Mully. What a shame there. Stones and a funny looking guy have both been disqualified from the race. I think there's, because of that puddle or because of that slipperiness in the pit entry or through that penultimate corner, I think loads of drivers are getting caught out by that, and they're ending up sliding into the pits, and what's happening is some of them are getting done for speeding in the pit lane. I think that's what's happening here. It must be, because we've seen a couple of drivers accidentally enter the pits, and they've managed to slow it down in the case of Mully, and obviously we saw Saki and Andre on the first lap as well. But yeah, it's definitely throwing up a few thrills and spills at this point, this pit lane and these wet conditions. But at the moment, Mez Koala's got himself into 3rd place, so that's going to kind of ease the pressure a little bit on Rocco. To be fair, it's not going to ease the pressure really at all, because he's currently running in 8th place here in this race, and he's a long way off of his championship rival. And Rocco's going to need a few things to go wrong here for Luck Morato, that's for sure, if he is to take this championship. He's about 12 seconds off at the back of him at this point. It's not game over yet for Rocco, but he needs to not make any mistakes, and he needs to really get the hammer down here over the course of this race. Raki says keep it cool and you win in this race. Yeah, I think so. Well, Rompu will need to know that, because he's got a 1.3 second lead at the moment over Lonnie. These two now, it's coming down actually. Lonnie gained 2 tenths there coming through that final sector, so Lonnie continuing to make the gains, continuing to bring the pressure here to Rompu. Mez there, Koala running in 3rd place, has got 6 tenths of a second back to Luck Morato at the moment as they're coming over the line to start their 9th lap to the race. You've got ST12 and Snow Wolf battling it out over 5th place as well. Snow Wolf looking towards the outside here of ST12, but ST12 is going to cover that inside line for now and keep on to that 5th place, but these two pretty close. Rocco there running in 7th place, he's a long way behind at the moment, isn't he? 9.8 behind Slow Wolf. These two are a little way off for the back of Luck as well, so 12 seconds currently between the two championship contenders. Rocco's going to need to absolutely go hell for leather over the next 45 minutes. He's really got it up against him, but he's been a good driver this season. He's been consistent, he's always up there, and the pit stops could prove to be the difference. The one thing that's interesting about tonight is that with the wet conditions, the tyres probably won't wear out as much, down to the fact that they're wet tyres. Is anybody going to gamble on the track drying out? I think it's supposed to be raining for the duration, but say for example Rocco doesn't pit for tyres, stays on these tyres, there won't be too much wear, so he'll obviously gain a bit of time, and he might be able to get away without losing too much time on the slightly more worn out tyres if he does elect to stay on the same tyres. So we'll have to see what happens in terms of the strategy, but yeah, certainly it's going to be an interesting one between Luck and Rocco here. Luck Morato currently in the box seat here for this championship though, but never say never. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and she's not even started her warm-ups yet. But Rompu leading this race by about a second and a half, bit more than that now. He gained 2 tenths, so he's pulling out a bit on Lonnie over the course of that lap. It was 1.1 at the beginning of lap 9 and it's now 1.7, so Rompu gained 6 tenths there, looking once again to exert his authority here on this field tonight in the GT3s. And Rompu would love to go out on a high this season here at Motive. He's done a fantastic job in the back part of this season. Has really come back to form in the last part of this season. We haven't seen the same Rompu of old over the course of the last couple of seasons here, but he is really starting to get his mojo back towards the back end of this season. And yeah, it'd be good to see what he can do next season as well. But it would be great to see Rompu on the top step once again. Lightblade there saying the number 27 keeping our boy honest. Come on Rompu, he says. Yeah, Lonnie is really doing a good job right now in the Aston Martin, that is for sure. Shout out to Rompu, says Raki. JR, they should work together at this point. P2 is better than P16. Oh, 100%, yeah. Lightblade, 100% JR until the last 4 or 5 laps, then sort it out. I mean, if they can do it cleanly at this point in the race, it'd be great to see a little battle going on. You know, there's still a long way left to go in this race. It'd be good to see them giving it a bit of a tussle. JR says Rompu been practicing a lot, and it shows, it really does. He's been putting in the work, he's been certainly getting the mileage in and putting in the time and the effort into making sure that he knows what he's doing around this Misano circuit in these very slippery conditions. Obviously the rain not too heavy, it's not absolutely plummeting down, but it's certainly, yeah, I mean, these drivers are going to be feeling it at this point. Although the track doesn't seem to be getting too much wetter at this point. They're kind of shedding the water at around the same rate that it's coming down, so at this point it's not really getting worse, it's just staying at around the same. Raki Co-op indeed, then bring it on, he says. I'd like to see them giving it a bit of a go. I'd like to see them having a bit of a fight, because yeah, we could be seeing we might see somebody else dragged into the battle, who knows. JR saying DD nearly back in the top 10. Yep, he's just He's chipping away, isn't he? Chipping away. He's making his way back through. At least get the pits out of the way. Rompu has dropped the hammer. He has. He's really pushed over the last couple of laps. Has Lonnie made a mistake, or is Rompu just on it here over these last couple of laps? I think Lonnie might have made a little mistake. Lightblade says Lonnie making a few mistakes now. Lost over a second on the last lap. Yeah, I have to say it's looking like he's just starting to drop the ball ever so slightly. But 7 minutes from the pit window, so that will be coming up very shortly here. Still lots to be decided in this race. Still plenty to be settled here in terms of the championship standings. Let me just get those up on the screen for you guys now. In fact, let me just double check that our stream is also in 720p, because I know that sometimes it isn't. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it is, so we've got full quality there. Sorry about this, guys. Right, back to the action again. Right, what was I doing? I was checking. Oh yeah, championship standings. Right, so there's the standings coming into this final round. So Nils Barser obviously not able to make this final round, which means that the two guys 3 points behind him in the championship, Rocco and Lamorato, are going to be the ones batting out the championship. So Rocco currently down in P7, Lamorato on course to take the championship at this point. He's currently falling back off of Mezcoala. Mezcoala made that move for third place a couple of laps ago and is now pulling away. But Lamorato currently in the box seat here, as it stands in this race, will be the GT3 champion here at Motive for Season 6 here at ACC on the PlayStation 4 platform. But anything can happen here, and in motorsport it usually does. It's never over until it's over, as we've got about 5 minutes left to go until the pit window now, so we're sort of coming into the range where the race can be won or lost here, and certainly the roll of the dice might prove to be the inspired choice here tonight, although maybe just playing it safe and doing what you think is probably the most wisest decision at the time, in terms of just putting a fresh set of tyres on, spending a little bit longer in that pit box, but at the same time being more equipped to come out and do some damage to your opponents, in terms of being able to go quicker than them, close in on them, pull away from them, whatever your aim is in the race. You know, obviously it's a strategic game, isn't it, this GT3 championship, with a 1 hour race with a mandatory pit stop. It always throws up a few different ideas. But the race starting to just settle down a little bit now. Not really too much going on. We've seen so many times in the past there's been a lot of battles going on, and then the pit window usually, well, not usually, but so often the pit window will just completely kind of kill a battle, and it will stop the suspense and the not knowing, and you'll kind of just be, it will just be like, yeah, okay, right, everyone's now spread out. But tonight they've kind of spread themselves out before this pit window. I'm wondering if maybe the pit stops could bring a couple of drivers back together here, and we could be seeing a few more battles going on here in the second stint of the race. But we're coming towards the end of the first stint here, currently just over 20 minutes into this race, and it's been a cagey and reasonably close affair up until this point. We've got Scooter Red Paul in the comments. Obviously, such a shame that Scooter Red Paul wasn't able to last the distance there. I think he disconnected from the session. Scooter Red Paul's out to hear, mate. Tuned in especially for you, of course. Raki there, obviously. Scooter, in fact, no, hold on. I need to scroll up a bit more here. I've gone too low. Only making a few mistakes, and that was the right of it. Obviously, what he said there. Scooter Red Paul, I'm not one for giving out, but it would be good to see some people learning to drive the wet. 3 times I got hit in 8 minutes. Ridiculous. Well, mate, if you got the footage, save it, put it in the stewards panel, and we'll get that sorted out for you. Sorry about that happening here out on the track, and we always aim to try and keep that to a minimum and stop any silly driving out there on the track. So please, if you got the footage, send it over to us, and we can do our best to sort that out for you. Who's that sexy devil in 20th? No one. There's no one in 20th. Rompu been working on that wet setup all week, says JR. It's not lucky he's in P1. No, he's certainly worked for this one. Lightblade, oof, top 20 for me, he says. Sad to hear, mate. Scooter Paul says Raki, tuned in for you especially. Rompu has been immense this session and crazy quick in the build up to this race, says Scooter Paul. He really has. JR, winky face there. Lightblade says, we'll know after the pits. Seems to be an issue with Rompu. Hopefully not tonight. Fingers crossed he can get in and out of that pit stop ASAP. Something always seems to happen to Rompu. Hopefully not tonight. Hopefully not. Let's not curse him. Raki says to Scooter Paul, you have a PS5. Maybe we can team up as Andy's Nana. Oh, please don't call your team Andy's Nana. Oh my god. Don't, please don't. I'm not allowing this. Oh god. She'd be loving it if she was in the room right now. Deal, says Scooter Paul. Sounds like that one's happening then. Alright, anyway, so we got Rompu leading the race by 4 seconds. The gap's now staying around the same. Lonnie started to make a couple of mistakes a few laps ago, but now it looks as though Rompu started to drop the hammer a little bit and has pulled out well, I mean, he had done anyway, but I don't know, he's certainly pushing. But yeah, Lonnie's maybe stopped the gap from increasing a little bit now. They seem to be matching each other. Mez Koala there running in third place, continuing to put out the gap to Luck Morato. Slow Wolf is not too far from Luck Morato now, actually. Only a couple of seconds between those. Luck's playing the long game here. Knows he's in the championship battle. Saying that though, Rocco's lapping quicker than Luck Morato, and there's no doubt about this one. The gap was about nearly 13 seconds a few laps ago. It's now just under 12, so I'd say in the last couple of laps, in the last sort of 4 or 5 laps, Rocco's gained a couple of seconds on Luck. Is it going to be enough at this point? We'll have to see, because obviously you lock up Rocco's a long way behind, but these two tied on points coming into this round at the top of the championship, and it is a winner takes all scenario between these two, so it's going to be exciting to see who comes out on top. Currently Luck's got the track position and has got the ascendancy here, but anything can happen before the end of this race. Raki says to Scooter Report, it comes to my ears that maybe you have to consider another team name, Nana, instead of Andy's Nana. I mean, technically it's still the same thing, isn't it, really? I wouldn't really think it's that much different, if I'm honest with you. You could argue that it's completely unrelated to my Nan, and obviously you'd have plausible deniability on that one, and ultimately I can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it's got nothing to do with my Nan, but the implication is certainly there. But yeah, anyway, Rompu's got just under a 4-second lead at the moment over Lonnie. These two coming out of the final corner. Rompu's keeping the gap to him. These two matching each other over the last few laps, but Rompu's got such great pace here tonight at Misano in the wet here, and he's just been absolutely bossing it. What a performance tonight from Rompu. Absolutely great stuff. Top marks to him. Lonnie there in second place. There's Mez Koala running in the final podium spot at the moment. He's just coming over to complete his 15th lap of the race. He's got 6 seconds back to Luck. Luck's keeping the gap at around 2 seconds to Slow Wolf at this point, so Luck Morato certainly doing a good job here. He's just keeping consistent. He needs to stay where he is, and he needs to make sure he finishes ahead of Rocco. But we could be pending a steward's inquiry in regards to the Luck and Rocco incident a few laps ago. If Luck is found guilty of causing a collision and not waiting for Rocco, he would be hit with a 10-point penalty in terms of his championship standing. 4th and 7th, I think that would probably give Rocco the championship if they finish in 4th and 7th. Let me just double check actually, because I always forget the points system. I never remember it. It's like I don't know. Oh, actually, funnily enough, it would actually at this stage in the race, like Morato, would actually take the title. But Rocco is closing in on SD12, and if Rocco were to come in P6 in this race, he'd get 37 points, and he would, say for example, I don't know what the situation was with Luck and Rocco. This is purely hypothetical here. I don't actually know who was at fault, and obviously what we need is onboard footage in order to determine this. But say hypothetically it was Luck that caused the collision between them, Rocco would need to come in 6th place, and Luck would get a 10-point penalty, which would give Rocco the championship. But we don't know this. It could have been Rocco that caused the crash. We just don't know. It's obviously, I don't want to be, jumping to conclusions at this point, because it could have been Rocco that caused the crash. It could have been Luck who caused the crash. We do not know. We're just going to have to wait and find out and see if there's any inquiries to come in. But all I'd say is that if Luck does end up taking the championship at the end of this race, I'd say just hold your horses. Don't be, if you're a friend, family member, or otherwise associate of Luck Morato, then don't be opening the champagne bottles. Don't be going and grabbing the party snacks or anything like that, because we just do not know at this point if he's gonna keep it or not. But having said that, it could be Rocco's fault. It could be a racing incident. We just don't know, and we're gonna have to wait and see. Could be chalked off as a racing incident, nothing doing between the pair, and a slap on the wrist for each of them. But Raki says, and now for something completely different, skip to another subject. Indeed, is this the last round? Says Lightbed. Yes, it is, because we're switching to the separate PS4 and PS5 leagues for next season. So we're basically ending the season here, so we can start afresh without any confusion going on. And have you decided on the scheduling yet for the PS5 GT3 League? Still Sunday? Yes, mate. In fact, little spoiler here. Pardon me, you guys are the first to know this. Basically, our new sign-up sheets are actually live on the website at the moment. Sorry, I've got air in my... Yeah, you guys are the first to know that we've actually got... the sign-ups are live on the website now. If you go to www.motiveracing.com and click on the sign up now bit on the Assetto Corsa Competizione bit, you should get a page will come up. You'll have two options, PS5 and PS4. Obviously select your console, and then you'll have basically it's one page now. I've simplified the sign up sheet so that everything's on the same page, so you've got all the championships listed in a document, and you just have to tick the boxes below as to which ones you want to compete in, put your Discord name, put your PlayStation name, boom, done, job sorted. And you can just join the championships and take part in the season. So obviously if you're interested in that, guys, then head over to www.motiveracing.com and fill in those sign up forms, get your names down for the upcoming season. But yeah, in answer to your question, Paul, the calendar is finalised, and we do know where we're going to be racing for the PS5 leagues. So in terms of the schedule for the PS5 GT3 league, we're going to be starting off at Monza on 20th of March. The race times for the PS5, it will be a 7 PM qualifying session. Race will be at 7:15. Race should end about 8:25 in the evening UK time. So we'll be starting off at Monza 20th of March, then we'll be going to Misano, so we'll be back here for the second race of the season on the 27th of March. Round 3 at the Hungaroring for the 3rd of April, then fourth round of the season, Zolder, will be on the 10th of April, followed by Barcelona on the 17th, round 5. Round 6, Nürburgring on the 24th of April will round out the season. So it'll be only a 6-round season. The reason why we're doing 6-round seasons for the foreseeable future is because obviously we're going to have now a few people on PS4 and a few people on PS5, so there'll be a bit of a split between the consoles. And what we don't want is, we don't want people to be signing up to a 12-round season on PlayStation 4 and then mid-season jumping off to the PS5. We want to minimise the amount of drivers that we're losing over the course of a season to the PS5 on the PS4 platform as much as we can. So PS4 and PS5 will both be running at 6-round seasons. That's going to be, I think, the plan for the next at least a year, maybe a couple of years. We'll have to see. It's a long-term plan. Obviously we're thinking way ahead here. This is obviously a massive thing for me, and obviously I want to make Motive into the best league on PlayStation, possibly even an expansion to PC at some point in a not too distant future. That will require me doing something I've never actually been able to do in my life, which is save money. I know, right? Those two things just do not work together. Save money. However, yeah, this is the one thing that kind of like keeps me on the straight and narrow and keeps me on track. So I will hopefully be able to put my focus into this, and we will hopefully have more to offer soon. But Rompu and SD12 in the pits at the moment. Everybody else has been into the pits whilst we've been waffling on about next season and waffling on about my inability to actually cope in life. We've got Lonnie coming out of the pits, and everybody else has been in the pits and made their mandatory pit stop. Just Rompu and SD12 dash to go now, as Rompu's just putting a lap there on a back marker. So is that Rocco there? He's just putting a lap on. I think it might be actually. Yeah, it is. But Rompu's coming into the pits anyway at the last opportunity here. So he's coming now in, and as he hits the pit wall there on the entry, but gets it stopped in time. Race leader Rompu. Let's see what he can do here. Can he keep it in good stead? His aim will be to come out ahead of Lonnie. These two in a battle for the race win. In other news, Luck Morato is 11 seconds ahead of Rocco, so that is the gap between the two championship contenders here. At this stage, Luck would take the title, but we don't know whether there's going to be a steward inquiry coming in from Rocco. If there is, there could be a switch up in terms of the order. What I'm going to try and do, if possible, if Raki and Freeman are both around right now, Raki, I know you're in the comments. Freeman, if you're watching at the moment, mate, we might need to do a steward's inquiry straight after the race. I want to get it done. Ideally, you know, we could take 15 minutes. We can put the standings on the screen, and we can deliberate, and we can get a conclusion before the end of the stream, so we know what's going on. But that's even if there is a steward's inquiry. Look, for all we know, Rocco might take it on the chin and be like, well, you know, it was a racing incident, or he might acknowledge that he was at fault. We just don't know what is going to happen here in regards to this incident. But as it stands anyway, Luck is on course to take the championship. Rompu's out of the pits now. Where is Lonnie? That's the question. Lonnie's coming down a start-finish straight, so Rompu has done enough here, and he's coming out in the middle of some traffic here. That's Spuzz. He's just going down the inside of there into turn 3. So Spuzz there getting lapped by Rompu. Nilsson in the foreground is about to also be lapped by the number 31 Ferrari, but Rompu here has got a reasonably comfortable gap right now over Lonnie, and as long as he doesn't mess up over this last 25 minutes, he will have this race in the bag. Brilliant to see Rompu in a position where he might be about to take the championship here. This is excellent to see. I'm so happy for this man. He's been out of sorts over the last couple of seasons, but he now looks to be in a position where he may be able to take a race win. As he's just coming up to Nilsson here. Nilsson will hopefully see him coming, as also you've got somebody in the foreground there. That's Saki and Andre just coming through your shot. Didi there coming to the end of the back straight. You can see the race leader just going around the outside of Nilsson, so he's clearing him just there. And Rompu continuing on his way right now. Luck Morato is currently in a championship taking position though, and Rocco, has he made a mistake here? No, he hasn't. Well, he hasn't made another mistake, but he's 17 seconds behind Luck at this point, so Luck very much in a position where he's pretty much got the championship within his grasp, but that's pending any steward's inquiries at this point. It was pretty fun watching lap 1 turn 1 again. Says JR. JR also says tricky corners, forced a mistake, dragged the defending car offline, no grip. Lightbait says I've arranged for my spare pedal clutch to be fettled by a geek friend. If you can work his magic, I may jump in. Well, Lightbait, it'd be great to have you back out on track. You've got 3 weeks left before the start of the season. The new season will be starting on the what is it, the 16th of March? I think it is the 16th for the GT4s. The GT3s will be following on the 20th of March, so exactly 4 weeks time we'll be getting going for the new season. So yeah, there's still plenty of time for you to get that sorted out, and it'd be great to have you back out on the track again here. We've missed you out on track, Lightblade, to be fair. You are one of the most exciting drivers here at Motive and on the PlayStation platform, so it's always a pleasure to see you out on track, mate. But we've currently got Rocco within 5 seconds of Slow Wolf, but at this point you can see the championship slipping away from him, with Luck currently running in that 4th place. Rompu, for all of his pit lane nightmares over the seasons here at Motive, he has now got some breathing space here at the front. His pit stop was the making of his race here. He only had about a couple of seconds back to Lonnie before the pit stops, and now he's got a 13-second gap, so it's really worked out for Rompu tonight in the pit stops, and he's looking set to take his first win in a very long time here at Motive. I don't know if it's his first win altogether on ACC. I know he's won races on Project Cars 2 before, But I think I don't even know it. I think it could be his first. No, I think he's won in the Porsche Cup before. I think he's won races in the Porsche Super Cup, but it could be his first GT3 win. I reckon it's his first GT3 win. Could be wrong on that one, but I can't remember him ever winning a GT3 race, I must admit. But nonetheless, yeah, this could be an exciting one. Scuderia Pool, great stuff. Good thinking about the shorter seasons for a while. Yeah, it gives us a little bit more stability and allows us to grow the PS5 side as people slowly upgrade. I reckon by the beginning of 2024, I reckon pretty much everybody will have moved over to the PS5. Could be about, I'd say it usually takes about 2 or 3 years for people who are going to upgrade. So yeah, it won't be too long until we see a lot of people on PS5. I myself are going to have to fork out 500 quid to buy one in about a week's time, so RIP my outside ventures, outside of sim racing over the course of March, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because this is basically my life anyway, aside from work. This is all I do aside from go to work, so yeah, it's certainly not a massive sacrifice on my part, I gotta say. I'm more than happy to do it. I love this, I love commentating, I love doing motive. Absolute pleasure to be able to do this, but right now anyway, we've got Ron Poot leading this race and looking to take his first win in a while. Didi currently running in 8th place here, so he's really cut his way back through the field. Very nicely as Didi. He's got a bit understated, to be fair. We've been watching Ron Poot up front, leading the race, basically just driving by himself. We've got Luck and Rocco obviously in a championship battle, those two 17 seconds apart. Luck currently in a championship taking position, but Didi has been cutting his way through the field like butter over the course of this race. He's got himself ahead of Sakin, but Sakin's not lying down here. Sakin himself has also come back through the field after a first snap impromptu pit stop. So these two doing a fantastic job here tonight. Spuzz has got a bit of a gap back to Nilsson there, running 11th place. Aside from that, really, we got Mully Stones, a funny looking guy, disqualified from the race. Recco still going, as well as J Polotto, SD12, Awesome Gumball, Nilsson. Great to see those guys still out on the track, still pushing, still going for it, as we're coming in towards the closing part of this race now. 20 minutes left to go here in this race. Lightly says your effort was not going with vain, Andy. Keep up the good work and karma will reward you. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Ron Poot, though, looking like he's currently about to get all of the bad karma that he's been experiencing over the last couple of seasons. He's getting some good luck here as he's got a fantastic pit stop over the course of this race here, getting 10 seconds on Lonnie in the pit stops. And he's had all the luck in one night after a couple of seasons of rotten luck. This man here is just about to put a lap on a couple of drivers. That's Didi and Sakin just in front of him. Come on, run DJC Racing, says A.A. Ratchet. Also, Ron Poot's driving in a very solid and forceful way. He's being consistent and he's going fast as well. He's not letting off the gas. He's just keeping pushing and not giving up and not saying die in this one. But Sakin all over the back of Didi still. JR says, I'm not saying nothing until the flag. JR's probably getting nervous now. I bet that JR is sat there at the TV right now like Christian Horner, just twitching his leg up and down. His Achilles heel is probably bouncing up and down off of the ground. He's probably sat there trembling, not knowing what to do with himself at this point. You can see his man standing on the cusp of taking his first win in the GT3s, his first win at Motive, and probably, I'd say, I'm going to risk it and say probably in about a year, probably about 10, 11, possibly even 12 months since Ron Poot took a race win here at Motive. Took many wins in Project Cars too, in the GTEs. He also was a regular race winner in the Porsche Cup back when we had that. Yeah, it's been a while since Ron Poot stood on the top step, but he's currently got a commanding lead at the front. JL says, I cannot watch. Super proud of Didi though. He says, Didi doing a great job cutting his way through the field. Ron Poot flashing his lights here as he's got the two back markers in his way. He's going to be getting nervous here, but he manages to navigate his way through as those two are definitely no mood to wave him through. Didi there getting in a scrap with Sakin. Sakin's going to try and go around the outside here of Didi TKU, and he gets that move done for the next corner there. So Sakin getting himself back up into 8th place there. These two trading places and they're having a great battle, but Ron Poot there managing to get through unharmed, unscathed, continuing on. JR can't watch. Look at that. He's getting very nervous there. Ratchet says, I have to be positive now. He says, Hey. Yeah, you have to be positive. Yeah, you have to hope that Rompu can keep home this advantage. He's got a 15-second gap here to Lonnie. So yeah, I mean, 15 seconds is enough, you know, to be able to not really push that much. I'm surprised really that he managed to pull out a gap on Lonnie on that lap, because he was in the middle of traffic and had to literally go and thread the needle in between Sakin and Didi, but he's still pulling out a gap. And Lonnie, I don't know if he had to encounter some back markers. It doesn't look like he's had any traffic in front of him, so he must have made a mistake, or maybe Rompu's just on it like a car bonnet at this point. But Lonnie very loose out of the last corner there, almost went into the barriers but just about keeps it out of them. But that was not what he would have needed there at all. But the gap now pretty substantial between Rompu and Lonnie, and Rompu looking like he's about to take his first win here in a very, very long time here on the Motive channel. But never say never here. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate or anything. I don't want to put the curse on him. I hope he can see this out, because it'd be great to see him take a win. In other news though, Rocco's closed the gap to Morato. Only 8 seconds separating the two championship contenders. Rocco is going to push this all the way to the checkered flag. That's for sure. There can be no doubt about that one. These two had a bit of a collision earlier on. Rocco ended up a long way behind, but Luck must have made a mistake here, because the gap was around 17 seconds between them before. Luck must have made a mistake somewhere. So Rocco's certainly not out of this championship yet. 8 seconds with what, 17 minutes left on the clock. We're probably going to have about 9 or 10 laps in this race. 8 seconds isn't too much here, especially in the wet when there's lots of room for error. So I would say we could potentially be seeing a change for the championship order here between these two. Luck and Rocco currently sat in 5th and 6th places at the moment. You got Lightbone in the comments saying can't lose rhythm in these conditions, slowing down will cause mistakes. Rompu will continue this till the end, 100%. He just needs to keep it up, and he's currently pulling away. He's not easing off, he's not under any pressure, and he's still pumping in the lap times. Rompu, it's been an absolutely superb display from the number 31 Ferrari driver here, member of Run DJC, as you can probably guess by the support coming in from JR. Getting nervous as he watches this race. You can see that one of his drivers is very much in a good position here in this race. He just needs to not throw this away, basically. As we've got 15 minutes left to go in the final race of the season for the GT3s. The championship still on the line. Luck Morato and Rocco separated by 8.5 seconds. The two championship contenders running next to each other in the leaderboard, but 8 seconds apart, as we said before. Tied on points coming into this round, so it really is a case of whoever finishes ahead takes the championship, and Luck currently in that position. But we could be seeing a stewards inquiry coming in at the end of this race, because we know that they had a bit of collision, and if Rocco feels like Luck fouled him, then he will obviously put in a stewards inquiry, and that will just drag the championship on a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see if Rocco wants to make an inquiry on that one. Going to check Discord and see if there's anything that came in during the race. No, nothing's come in so far. Nonetheless, guys, 17 people watching at the moment live on YouTube. If you guys like what you see, please drop a like on the video. It really does help us out an enormous amount. If you want to get involved in the action, then go to www.motiveracing.com. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got new leagues starting in 3 weeks time. We'll be starting the new leagues. It'll be GT4s on Wednesdays, GT3 Sprint Cup, British GT Sprint Cup on a Saturday night, and this time it will actually be a British GT Cup. Last season, obviously, we tried to do a 12-round championship where the majority of the races were British tracks, but not all of them, and it ended up just being a little bit of a ridicule, really, that the fact that it was called British GT when it wasn't actually a British circuits. But this time it is actually a British, an all-British lineup aside from Spa. So we've got 6 rounds starting off the season. It's will be Saturday nights. It will be 7 PM for the PS4s, and it'll be 8 PM for the PS5s. But we'll be starting off the season 19th of March at Alton Park, then to Snetterton for round 2 on the 26th, followed by Spa, the midpoint of the season, 2nd of April, round 3, and then the final 3 races will be in the UK: Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and Donington to round out the season. If anybody's interested in that, that'll be running on Saturday nights. It'll be the Sprint Cup, 2 30-minute sprint races, aside from the usual 1 hour endurance that we have here on a Sunday night. I'm noticing on a timing board here that Didi's dropped off at the back of Sakin here, and I think Spuzz is on the back of him here, so Spuzz has dropped off a little bit coming through that middle sector there. The gap was almost nothing before, and now it looks like Didi's pulled out a bit of a gap to him. But Spuzz did gain a bit on Didi, so Sakin's now comfortable in that 8th place. Yeah, looking very much like he's got that one in hand. Lightblade, I see him more solid than ever in regards to Rompu. Yep, definitely has not put a foot wrong here tonight. Porsche Cup PS4, says Lightblade. It's a difficult one. We had the Porsche Cup on Fridays, didn't we? But it didn't really take off. It wasn't, the popularity just wasn't there. I don't know really why, to be honest, but it just didn't really take off. The numbers simply aren't there, and the problem is it's a bit of a risk to set up PS5 and PS4 leagues for Porsche Cup when the numbers weren't even there, quite frankly, when we had crossplay available. And without crossplay, it's going to be extremely difficult for us to get full grids for either one. So I don't know if we will be able to. We'll still be running our usual, you know, GT4s Wednesday, the GT3 sprint on a Saturday, and the main GT3 championship on a Sunday. We'll still have all of those, but I don't think we'll be having Porsche Cup for the foreseeable future, just down to the fact that we experimented with it over the course of February, and it just hasn't really worked. For whatever reason, it just hasn't really taken off, which is a shame, really, because they're good cars. They're exciting to watch. When you've got a full grid of them, it's awesome. Oh, it's because somebody lost it. Somebody spinned it there. That's J Palotto, who was just being lapped there by Didi and Spuzz. But J Palotto's got out of shape there, and he's going to fall back into the clutches of Recco Vantage, who's just coming through that part of the track behind him. Although they have got Spuzz and Didi in between them, so actually J Palotto wasn't quite lapped by Didi and Spuzz, but they're coming up on him here. Oh no! Who's lost it in the foreground there? Who is that? It's Rompu. No way! Rompu, hold it together, man! Hold it together! Oh no! JR, Lightblade in the chat, Ratchet as well. These guys are going to be absolutely high-mouthed at the moment. Rompu, get it on the track, man! Get it back on the track, what are you doing? The gap's 3 seconds! No way! Where's Lonnie? Lonnie's got ahead of him. Rompu down in P2 in this race. What a shame there for Rompu. He lost it coming out of the last corner. He has lost 20 seconds in a few hundred meters. Rompu, get on it, get on it, get on it. No! Oh no, this race is now wide open. And Lonnie leads this race by 2.5 seconds with 10 minutes left to go in this race. Can Rompu get back on him? Can Rompu come back at him here in the final few laps of this race as he puts a lap there on Spuzz? And now Lonnie has had this handed to him on a plate here. Lonnie will be saying thank you very much. He will be absolutely chuffed to bits with that one. But we've still got 10 minutes left to go in this race, and there is still time for Rompu to come back at Lonnie here in the final part of this race. Has he got what it takes to bring it back to him here? Lightblade says no in the comments. Scuderia Paul, Porsche might have a renaissance when the new car arrives in the next couple of months. That's a good point actually, Paul. Yep. When the update comes in a couple of months, we'll be seeing more Porsche Cup. Lightblade says what dramatics. Oh no. As we've lost the driver from the race here, Stones has left. He has been sat in the pits for some time now, but he has now officially left the session. But what a shame there. The gap also coming down between the two championship contenders. Rocco's really in luck at this point in the race. He seems to be the quicker driver. The question is, has time run out for him? Or is he going to get there in the nick of time? I reckon we could be seeing the championship contenders battling out for the title on the last lap here. If Rocco continues at the pace he's going, he needs to not make any mistakes, but this could go down to the wire between these two. Luck and Rocco, 6 seconds separating these two with just a few minutes left in this season. But Lonnie and Rompu separated by less than 2 seconds. Rompu's coming back at him. Oh, Lonnie's lost it! Lonnie's round! He's lost it! Coming coming through the first sector checkpoint, and that's going to get the lead back to Rompu here. Rompu now reassumes the race lead here at Misano for the final round of the season. And Lonnie there does the same thing that Rompu did as Jay Pilotto, flashing his lights there in the background. Not sure why, to be honest with you. He clearly thinks he's entitled to that position there. But Lonnie losing the car, and Rompu now back into the lead of the race. Scooter Paul says, drama, you jinxed him, Andy. You know me, I'm the commentator, I'm the curse of the commentator personified here, Paul. But in fact now Lonnie has now done exactly the same thing as Rompu. Lightblade, whoa, 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 this is epic. Certainly is, my friend, certainly is. We got Rompu now back in the lead of the race, 8 seconds here over Lonnie. Slow Wolf here, a second off at the back of Mez Koala. This could be an exciting battle for the final podium spot. The gap between Luck and Rocco is coming down as well. Only 5 seconds now separating these two, so Rocco could be in with a shout of this championship still. 5 seconds separating the two championship contenders. Let me just fill you in on this. For those who are tuning in, for those who haven't been watching this season, these two, 5th and 6th places, tied on points coming into this round. Whoever finishes ahead gets the championship. Rocco is reeling in Luck at quite a rate here. Less than 5 seconds separating these two. Has Rocco left it too late? That's the question. These two came together earlier in the race. JR says bollocks. Don't worry, mate. You're running a bit behind, I think. I think JR must have rewound the stream a little bit, because he doesn't know yet that Rompu's got the lead back again. Dramatic scenes here as Slow Wolf is into the final podium spot. He's got himself ahead of Mez Koala there. So P3 at the moment for Slow Wolf. Great end to the season for him. We'll definitely be looking to build that momentum going into next season. Great stuff there from Slow Wolf right now. But Rompu, right, oh my goodness me. Rompu at the moment's got a 6-second lead here over Lonnie. Can Rompu keep it tidy? Can he stay out of trouble in the final few laps of this race? Smash that like button. Lightblade says, show your appreciation for these boys, giving their all 100%. They are absolutely smashing it out on track. We're seeing so much action in the last part of this race. Rompu and Lonnie pushing it absolutely to their limit. We saw Rompu make a massive error coming out of the last corner. He was lucky not to get any damage, kept it out of the wall, but he lost so much time. He made a couple of mistakes. He spun twice in the space of like 2 corners. Got himself into a rut. Probably the tyre pressures were going all sorts of out of shape, and it gave Lonnie the lead. But then Lonnie, probably seeing that Rompu was reeling him in, the gap went from about 3 seconds down to just 1.8 in the space of a lap, and Rompu was getting onto the back of him, and that forced Lonnie into another mistake, which has given Rompu currently breathing space here out the front of the race. He's coming over the line here to complete the 31st lap of the race. 5.5 minutes left to go here at Misano for the GT3s here at Motive, or for season 6. Rompu looking set to take his first win in quite a while here. Slow Wolf lost out on the P3 here, so Mez Koala back up into that podium spot. These two trading places in the closing laps of this race, but the gap between the two championship contenders, Luck Murata and Rocco, tied on points. No, Rocco's lost it! Rocco's lost it, has he? No! I thought he had. Has he? He has. Rocco's out of the race. Oh no, Rocco's out of the race, and that's the championship done there for Rocco. Even if there's a steward's inquiry now, it's done. Rocco there gets done for going the wrong way, and that's the championship done, and Luck Murato will be the GT3 champion here at Motive. Incredible scenes here. Rocco disqualified from the race. Even if he puts the inquiry in now on Luck Murata, there's nothing that can be done. Luck Murata will take the title. Unbelievable stuff here. Luck Murata on course to take his first championship here at Motive. He would have been absolutely bricking it, seeing that Lexus number 89 reeling him in over the last few laps, but he's going to do it here. And Luck Murato couldn't be more happy for a driver here at Motive in his first season driving here on ACC at Motive on the PlayStation 4 platform. And he's going to be the GT3 champion. He's going to follow in the footsteps of Oz Wills, Thorsten Borchardt, Kurt Hodgson, Cordeo and Jonathan Reed. And he's going to become the 6th GT3 champion here. That's fantastic. But Rompu here currently running in the lead of the race right now. 5 seconds, he's got a gap here to Lonnie. Lonnie's starting to reel him in a little bit in the closing stages of this one. Ratchet says Rompu win or puncture the wheels of your car. He's saying he'll puncture his real wheels of his real car if he doesn't win the race. Brilliant. JR says respect to the 488 coming out of the way for sure. So 5 seconds now separating Rompu and Lonnie here. But Luck Morato set to take the title here. Lightblade says still 3 laps left. I know, mate, I know, but with Rocco retiring from the race, Luck only has to finish. I can't see him losing it now, but never say never. But even if he disconnects, he can jump back in and still get classified for 14th place it would be. So either way, he'd get points and he'd still take the title. What a shame though for Rocco. You've got to feel for Rocco. Came into this with a big chance of taking his first championship here. He might feel aggrieved with the collision between himself and Luck earlier in the race, but ultimately the championship has been decided due to a disqualification rather than due to a potential penalty, which may still be going the way of Luck Morato, but at this stage it's not going to make any difference. Mez Koala's got ahead of Slow Wolf again and is now pulled out over a second, so that battle for the final podium spot looks to be going the way of Mez Koala at this point. Rompu's on a penultimate lap of the race. He's got a lap and a half left to go here at Misano, or just under 2 laps really. He's just starting his penultimate lap of the race. He's in the first sector at the moment. What a race, what a night here at Misano though. What a shame for Rocco. Commiserations to him. He was chasing his championship rival down Luck Morato, and I think this would have gone all the way to the last lap if he hadn't made that mistake. If he hadn't got disqualified for going the wrong way, I think he would have taken that fight to him all the way down to the last lap. But unfortunately for him, it was not to be. Gap between Rompu and Lonnie coming down. Has Rompu got a bit of damage here, or is he just taking it easy? Is he just bringing this home? He doesn't want to take any risks. He doesn't want to push too hard and throw this one away. He's got this in the bag. He just needs to keep cool, needs to stay calm, needs to not mess up here. Gap between Saki and Andre and Video Gamer 2 seconds. That looks pretty close here as they're starting their last lap of the race. Or it might not be actually. I think they'll be on their penultimate lap. Rompu coming through the final few corners of his 34th lap. It's going to be 35 laps altogether here at Misano with the wet conditions, a couple of less laps than usual, but Rompu has done an absolutely superb job here tonight. He's got a 4-second gap here to Lonnie and he has this one in the bag. Rompu just needs to keep it cool over this final lap of the race. JR's foot is going to be twitching up and down all over the place. Lightblade and Ratchet in the comments have been vocally in support of Rompu here tonight. Scuderia Paul as well, I'm sure will be happy to see it. Raki as well in the comments here tonight has been also voicing their support for Rompu. I'm sure Rompu's going to be a dead cert for driver of the day here tonight, and he's going to be the race winner as well. Maximum points here in the final race of the season. Looking forward to seeing what Rompu can do next season. Seems to have got back to his best over the last season, or over the last half a season. Last few races he's really seemed to be back on form after a couple of seasons where he's been out of sorts a little bit. 6 seconds is his gap here to Lonnie. Mez Koala's only got a second of a gap here to Slow Wolf, so this battle for the final podium spot could be raging on all the way to the flag. So Rompu, half out left to go in this race. Luck Morato, what can we say about Luck Morato here? Has been so consistent over the course of this season. Always up there, always near the top 5, always in a position where he's in contention for the podium spots. Had a quiet race here tonight, had a collision with his championship rival Rocco. Rocco dropped back a bit, but in the end it didn't matter as Rocco ended up getting disqualified in the closing laps as he was trying to chase him down. Could be a steward inquiry coming the way of Luck, but either way he's going to get enough points to take the title here. A P5 will do it for him, and he's got just a few corners left to go for this season. But Rompu is going to come into the final corner here at Misano. A fantastic job from Rompu tonight. A very, very... It's a A heartwarming victory here for Rompu as he comes over the line, as he does a little bit of weaving there. The number 31 Ferrari back on the top step here tonight at Motive here at Misano in tricky conditions. Rompu was the man who absolutely excelled. He's the winner here tonight ahead of Lonnie, who takes home second place in the number 27 Aston Martin. Mez Koala is going to hold on for the final podium spot ahead of Slow Wolf. Those two having a great battle all the way to the line. Those two coming over third and fourth places there for Mez and Slow Wolf. Luck Morato is going to come into the final corner here, and it's going to be the championship here, the GT3 championship for season 6. Luck Morato coming up towards the line. Oswills won it in the first season. It was Thorsten Borshon in the second, Kurt Hodgson season 3, Cordeo season 4, Jonathan Reed season 5, and Luck Morato is your season 6 champion here for the GT3s. A P5 finish will do it for him. Congratulations to Luck Morato. You are the latest champion here in the GT3s at Motive. The latest chapter of the season, or latest chapter of ACC at Motive, goes to the number 69 Pink Ferrari. Well done to Luck Morato. Massive congratulations there. Spaz Awesome Gumball, Nielsen, SD12, Recco and Jai Pilotto have all finished the race. Saki and Andre's coming to the final few corners. He's going to hold off the charge of Video Gamer here. Saki and Andre, here he comes out onto the start finish straight. It's going to be a P6 finish here for Saki, joined late in the season and has had a good couple of races. A good showing here from this man in the number 14 Ferrari. P6 there. Video Gamer comes over to take 7th place. Didi is going to come out of the final corner here, and it's going to be an 8th place finish in the number 63 McLaren. Up towards the line comes Didi TKU. Good points there for Didi. And obviously we lost Mully a few laps from the end. Scuderia Paul disconnected. Game for Life left quite early on. Rocco disqualified from the race, loses out on the championship. What a shame for Rocco there, but he'll be back next season. Hopefully we'll be able to see him give it a good go once again. Stones disqualified as well, as a funny looking guy. Lots of people getting disqualified for that pit entry. It was a nightmare tonight. There was a bit of a treachery going on through that penultimate corner, which was putting people offline and causing all sorts of incidents. But I want to say a huge congratulations to this man Rompu on taking a win, and Luck Morato for being the 6th different champion in the GT3s at Motive. Make sure you join us next season, guys, for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 championships. 2 separate championships that we're running back to back on a Sunday night for the GT3s, also on a Wednesday for the GT4s as well. We're going to be running the British GT Sprint Cup on a Saturday night as well on both consoles. That will be all British tracks aside from Spa, so it'll be a 6-round championship, the 5 British tracks as well as Spa. So definitely, if you want to get involved in that, then sign up to that on the website. Go to www.motiveracing.com to sign up for the new season, guys. Another big congratulations to Luck Morato. Big thank you to everybody in the comments tonight, to Lucas Nieto there in the comments. That is Luck Morato in the comments there, and thanking everybody for the congratulations. Lightblades with some absolutely lovely comment there. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. It really means a lot. Awesome Gumball, big thank you to you commenting there. Xander Flander says congratulations to Luck Morato. Xander Flander also the champion of the GT4s on the PS4 platform for this season, so one champion to another there. Congratulating him there on a great season. Lightblade, thank you tonight for your comments, mate. We've got JR also, thank you to you, to Ratchet as well, to Scuderia Paul, to Raki as well as Scuderia Paul, already mentioned you, also to Auto Butcher earlier on tonight, as well as Game for Life as well, and Sean Freeman very early on in the night. Thank you everybody, guys. We will see you next season. We'll have probably a few streams in the off season. We'll try and get some events going, try and build up the anticipation for the new season, but sign up at www.motiveracing.com. We're going to get off now, guys. Thanks ever so much, and we will see you very, very, very soon. Good night. Life.
Savannah.